Hold on. Yeah, boy! It's about that motherfucking time, man. Ooh, feel that shit. Oh man, I love that shit, man. I love that shit. It's about that time, man. It's about that fucking time. Raider football's here, baby. Finally. I've been making videos all fucking year long, man. All throughout January, all throughout February, March, all throughout, free agency, all throughout fucking the draft and all that shit. I've been joining the TTC, joining the RWA, and it all comes together this fucking weekend. Preseason football about to start off. Now, it's preseason, right? It's not time to get fucking all the way excited, but I'm just excited to see my team get suited and booted, play some fucking football. I want to see what this team looks like. I've been watching all the training camp videos and all the training camp interviews and all this bullshit, and I've been hearing all the analysts and number crunchers and all these so-called experts talk about the Raiders. Man, I just want to see them with my own two eyes. I want to see what they're working with, man. We're not going to get a real big fucking picture of what the actual team is going to look like because the starters aren't really going to play. And to be honest with you, I don't want the starters to play. I don't want to see Derek Carr. I don't want to see Amari Cooper. I don't want to see Khalil Mack right now. I don't want to see Mario Edwards Jr. I don't want to see Sean Smith. I don't want to see Carl Joseph. I don't want to see our fucking good players go out there because it's the preseason. It's the first game of the preseason, and we already know what our starters are working with. We already know who we're going to have out there in game one against the Saints. So we don't want to go out there and get hurt or anything like that. I was watching a fucking preseason game yesterday with some guy from the Patriots dislocated his fucking elbow. You know what I'm saying? Shit was nasty. But that's the kind of shit that can happen in the preseason. So I don't want any of that to happen. I want some of these undrafted free agents and some of these guys that we drafted in the lower rounds of the fucking draft to come out and show what they're working with, man. I want to see guys like Joe Hansley, Johnny Holton, Max McCaffrey, Jadon Mickens, all those wide receivers that been tearing it up in camp. I want to see this guy Jalen Richard, who's a backup running back who everybody says is doing really well in camp. I want to see Vidal Alexander, that tackle that we drafted like in the 7th round. I want to see Corey James, that linebacker that we drafted in the 5th round. I want to see the undrafted free agent James Cowser out of Southern Utah. He had crazy fucking numbers in college, and everybody says he's really good, but I haven't really seen him play, man. I mean, I don't watch Southern Utah football games, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what this guy even looks like. The numbers on paper look great, but I want to see this guy put in some work, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm really fucking excited to see what these younger guys that are trying to make the team, these guys that are fighting for their life, these guys that are fighting for their dream to make an NFL fucking squad, what are they going to look like? You know what I'm saying? The starters are the starters. We already know what we got going on the offense and defensive side of the ball. We don't need to go out there and play extended time with our starters, and I really don't think we will. If Derek Carr plays, it'll probably only be a series or two or maybe half a quarter at the most, and then get those guys out of there, man. Don't get them hurt. Don't get them all fucked up, you know what I'm saying, because it's the first game of preseason. It's not really time to put the pedal to the metal, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And I watched that Saints game yesterday, bro, and I'm not scared of the Saints one fucking bit. They're going down in week 1, that's for sure, man. We're going to start off the year on a really good note because that defense cannot hold a fucking cup of water over there in New Orleans, man, and that shit is true. But anyways, man, yeah, man, I'm just excited, bro. Fuck, dude. All this time we've been wasting talking to each other on this off-season drama type bullshit, man. Everybody talking about EDP right now, man. Like, seriously, bro, I don't think anybody really gives a fuck what EDP does either way. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not he loses 200 pounds over the next year or doesn't, I don't think anybody in the TTC is really going to lose any fucking sleep over it. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Mr. Bad Dog and fucking Sports Live and the ATL, these guys probably have some real beef and real history with EDP, but everybody else, just move the fuck on, man. Nobody really cares. Everybody really knows that if you put EDP in your fucking video, you're going to get views. And that's what motherfuckers are doing it for. And it's pretty sad, bro. You know, it's pretty sad. You know, the guy started a GoFundMe account for a gym membership. There's worse things to start a GoFundMe account for, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least he's trying to do something. When I see people at the gym that are really big, that are trying to, you know, make a change, you know, I encourage that shit. Even though there might be 350 fucking pounds, who cares, man? At least they're recognizing that there's a problem and they're going out there and they're doing something about it. So, not to say that I totally respect EDP. I don't. I think some of the shit he says is fucking stupid. I think he says a lot of stuff for shock value, but you know, at least he's going out there and he's recognizing that there's a problem and he's trying to turn things around. So more power to him, man. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing your thing, bro. People are gonna hate on EDP no matter what because that's part of his brand. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, to be real, to be honest with you, this is kind of fucked up. But the more weight that he loses, the less funny he'll be. it's true. It's fucked up to say, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of his formula. But that's no reason for him to not, you know, pursue that dream of losing weight. I mean, the guy is incredibly large, so he needs to address that. But anyways, moving on to some real shit. You know, I watched some videos probably about 3 or 4 days ago, and everybody was crying about this fucking Hall of Fame game getting canceled and all this bullshit, man. And that, you know, I get it. It was the Packers and the Colts. Nobody really cares about those two teams, the Packers and the Colts. I really wasn't going to be crazy excited whether the fucking game went off or not. But it would have been nice to see some football and all that shit. But, you know, somebody fucked up the paint and it got all, you know, coagulated or whatever the fucking scientific word was. They just couldn't play. They just couldn't play football on the field. And everybody was pissed off about it. But let me tell you something, man. That was not the biggest fucking tragedy over the Hall of Fame weekend. That was not the biggest fucking blunder that the NFL had over Hall of Fame weekend. I'll tell you what it was. Okay, finally Ken Stabler gets inducted into the Hall of Fame the year after he dies, which is a slap in the face in and of itself. He should have been in there 4 or 5 years ago, if you ask me. But he finally gets inducted. Everybody does the speeches. They hand out the plaques. John Madden does the induction speech. It's a beautiful thing. Raider legends all over the induction. You know what I'm saying? All over the whole Ken Stabler Hall of Fame process. You know, you see Raiders everywhere you look. And then in the main fucking display, in Canton, Ohio, in the Hall of Fame, you have a locker room display for Kenny Stabler. And there's not one fucking jersey from the Oakland Raiders. There's not one helmet from the Oakland Raiders in that main display. There's not one stitch of silver and black in the whole display in the Hall of Fame. So that means that 50 years from now, you can walk into Canton, Ohio in the Hall of Fame, and you can go over to Kenny Stabler's fucking display. And if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't know that he played for the fucking Raiders. Now that is a fucking slap in the face, bro. I don't care what anybody says. The NFL is hating on the Raiders, and there's a long history of it. You know what I'm saying? They fucked us over with this latest stadium deal, giving the Chargers the first fucking chance to move to LA over with the Rams, when everybody knows that Los Angeles wants the Raiders, man. Let's fucking be real about it. That's the only team that Los Angeles really wants. You know what I'm saying? And the NFL gives the Chargers the first fucking crack at moving over there. So they fucked us over with that bullshit. But that's a whole different topic. You know what I'm saying? They fucked us over with the fact that they won't get over Al Davis suing them back in the day. They want to hold a grudge all the way up to now. They got Mark Davis thinking that it's a good idea to move to Las Vegas, which everybody knows it's not. If you move from the fucking 6th biggest media market in the country to the 41st biggest media market in the country, you are devaluing your team. And Mark Davis thinks it's a good fucking idea? That's some bullshit, but he's getting trolled by the NFL. You know what I'm saying? They're encouraging him to do it because he's going to get NFL support, because they want the Raiders to be in the fucking 4th smallest market in the NFL. And Mark Davis is too dumb to realize that he's being fucking trolled by the NFL, bro. That shit is true. They fucked us over with that tuck rule game in 2001. Everybody that's ever seen that fucking play knows that's a fumble. But what happens? The referees fucking swallow their whistles. We lose that game. You know, the Patriots fucking drive down and get a field goal, and they fucking go off into the sunset and start winning Super Bowls ever since then. And the Raiders get fucked over. The Immaculate Reception. I mean, it's a long time ago, bro, but it still has some questions surrounding it. There's some conspiracy theories about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being real, man. There's a long history of the Raiders being fucked over, but Kenny Stabler not having his fucking main display decked out in Raider gear, that shit is a big slap in the face. The guy fucking spent 80% of his career in the silver and black. Okay? He won a Super Bowl for us, our first ever Super Bowl, Super Bowl 11 over the fucking Vikings. He was the first. He was the first fucking left-handed quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. Threw 19,000 fucking passing yards with the silver and black. Led the league in passing touchdowns for 2 years. Was an MVP 1 year. You know what I'm saying? And he was really one of the first original Raider fucking characters, right? You know, Kenny the Snake Stabler. He was one of those bad boy outlaw type of guys that gave us our image back in the 70s and made a lot of people fall in love with the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? As Raider fans, we can look at our team right now and say, oh, man, we got all these young guys, and they're the shit. And, we got Derek Carr. He's a franchise quarterback. We got Khalil Mack. He's a badass linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Amari Cooper's the shit. We got Mario Edwards Jr. We got Sean Smith. We got Carl Joseph. We got all these good players. We're going to be good for a long time. We got a returning coaching staff and all that shit. We can be pumped up about our current team. But you have to be able to look in the past, right? And really understand the history of your fucking team. And Kenny Stabler is a huge part of that history. He's the quarterback responsible, or was on the team when we won our first Super Bowl. Just that in and of itself. Just that fact in and of itself. With that, he deserves a fucking Raider jersey in his main display in the Hall of Fame. To know that you could go into the Hall of Fame 50 years from now and not know that Kenny Stabler was a Raider, and he spent more than 80% of his career there, that's just a slap in the face. I don't know what the family thinks about it. I don't know about what all the Hall of Famers from the Raiders are thinking about it right now. I don't know why John Madden and fucking Marcus Allen and Fred Biletnikoff and Tim Brown and all these guys, I don't know why they're not knocking down the door to Roger Goodell's office right now and demanding some fucking answers, because that's some bullshit. Fuck a preseason game, man. You need to get that shit right, Roger Goodell. You better get that shit right, man. Put a fucking display together for Kenny Stabler that really tells the story of his career. You know what I'm saying? You guys got a fucking AFC Pro Bowl jersey hanging up in there. You got a Saints helmet hanging up in there. What the fuck kind of bullshit is that? But anyways, man, I went long enough. It's Matty on a mission. I'm out here doing my thing. It's preseason football, man. I'm definitely going to be checking out the game. I want to see what these undrafted free agents do. I want to see what these young guys do, man. They're it's on the line, man. Their NFL career, starts today, and they're trying to make the team, man. So it's gonna be entertaining as fuck, man. Let's go check it out. Let's see what we got going. Hey, San Diego Chargers, how's Joey Bosa treating you? Oh, I fucking love it, man. This guy hasn't even fucking stepped on the field yet, and he's already holding out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Fucking Charger fans. Motherfucking mom's coming out and saying she wants a trade. She wish somebody else would have drafted him. Oh, I love that shit, man. And then you got the fucking Queefs, bro. Fucking Queefs are out there. Eric Berry's holding out. You know what I'm saying? Justin Houston's still hurt. Motherfucking the king of the ACL, Jamal Charles, is going to come back. He's a great running back, bro. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate on Jamal Charles. He's fucking good. But, you got to be a little bit nervous that he might plant his fucking knee the wrong way and shit disconnect from his body and shit, because he's torn both ACLs, man. I mean, shit. I mean, how many ACLs do motherfuckers have? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's a big question mark there. And then the Denver Broncos, they still got a great defense. They shut out the Bears yesterday. I mean, it's the Bears, but, hey, it's a shutout. I got to give them some fucking respect on that. But their quarterback situation, they don't know if it's going to be Mark Sanchez. They don't know if it's going to be Trevor Siemian. I mean, Mark Sanchez was the backup to Sam Bradford last year. You know how fucking garbage you have to be Sam Bradford's backup. But anyways, let me not get into it, man. I could go on for another 20 minutes. Right now, it's Matty on a mission. I'm out here doing my thing, man. Preseason football is finally here, man. We've been waiting so long. I can't wait for the silver and black to suit up. But just remember one thing, man. When you're watching these preseason fucking games and you're talking shit about each other right here, making videos in the TTC, remember one thing, you stupid ass punk bitches out here. When I speak, you listen.